Okay, so in this conversation, we're going to have an informed discussion on the concept of cold calling. Hajar, what is cold calling?
One business way to call customers and their introduce their product and advertisement their products.
Okay, yeah. So it is a kind of solicitation. It means that it is not intended, well intended, particularly by the customers and the clients. The clients had not asked for it. And so, how frequently do you receive cold calls? Nazanin, have you ever experienced any cold call?
Yes, a lot of every week, I guess.
Every week? In my case, every day almost. Yeah.
Not every day because I have put some numbers in my blacklist.
Aha, good point. A very good strategic
Yes.
idea. And yeah. Okay, so what about you, Sasan? Do you frequently receive cold calls?
I think once in a blue moon. I don't remember the last time that I received a cold call, but I know that it's a action which is on the nerve of many people. But I personally try to respect the people who are running the business, even though they are maybe immature or let's say naive in this field, but they're just working.
They're just working?
Yeah.
At what cost?
And I think we need to keep it in our mind that they are always pushed by their, for example, I don't know, well-wishers or bosses that not to be, try not to discourage yourself or doesn't let anyone discourage you when, for example, receiving some refusal or or rejection or something like this. Yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't just justify their misbehavior or, let's say, bothersome conduct or behaviors or activities, and particularly if they turn out to be really assertive, and if they, as I said, insist on that or persist in that. So how do you generally react to the sales people conducting cold calls? Hajar? Suppose that you receive a cold call. What is your reaction to that? Hajar is not available. Nazanin?
Sorry, I don't
okay.
push.
All right, please,
Okay.
Hajar.
Firstly, I listen them, and if their suggestion is not proper for me, I reject it. But if I think it is a good, I want to permit think and search about it. But I don't reply positive answer very soon.
Yeah. Okay, so to some extent, Nazanin answered this question by saying that she would blacklist their numbers.
Yes, and I try to say something that most of them are not true about myself to get rid of them. For example, I'm not a girl. If they want to sell me some makeup stuff, for example, nail polish and something like that. I tell them that I'm not girl. I am an old woman, and I don't need them to get rid of them quickly.
So you will practice some kind of duplicity, or
Yes,
you wear a mask upon your face to get rid of them. Okay.
yes, because they want to continue the call, and they want to push me to buy their stuff.
Yeah. As I said, they were so assertive and opinionated. Because, they have been trained to do so and to be so. And if they are successful, if they succeed in selling something, they get a percentage of the whole sum or benefit. So it's
Yes,
to
I
their
know,
own
but it's
benefit,
not a
actually.
good way. It's not
Yeah,
a good
I really hate
method
it. Yeah.
because most of people are annoying from them.
Yeah, they're annoyed by them. That's right. I do not, as I said, rationalize or authorize it. That's out of question. I personally cannot tolerate them. And okay, so let me see. The next question. Number 4, can cold callers provide useful services as well? Sasan?
Yes, they can. They are similar to other sellers, in my point of view, and in response to the previous question, I'm almost neutral to these sorts of people. If their product is something that is beneficial and it's the need of my, for example, hour, I try to go through negotiation, having a talk with those people for purchasing those products. Otherwise, I just tell the truth to those people that I don't need that product at all and try to stop this conversation.
What if they were really assertive?
You can make fun of these people in this situation, or if you cannot tolerate the situation, you can get out of the kitchen and, let's say, turn off your, for example, phone, or yeah.
So why don't you blacklist their numbers? You turn off your phone for them.
No, I mean, I try to disconnect the conversation or the, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So maybe we can learn many strategies from each other to deal with this unpleasant situation. And okay, so another question number 5, how should the establishment control cold callers?
Anybody can respond to this question?
Yes.
I think the problem is that, for example, we have many similar companies who are stealing the business from each other. For example, when it comes to insurance, we have many thousands of companies who are giving service to the people, and they are just competing with each other. Each company tries to call many people every day on a daily basis, which is crazy somehow. If the establishment tries to manage the number of companies who are active in this field and also train the people who are working there, the employees, they do not need to be so assertive and, bothersome to people and to the customers. And also before any call, they need to make a research about the people who need something. If I'm just calling a person for giving a service about the insurance of a car, at first I need to be sure that that person has a car before calling that person, maybe by making the from other, the I don't know, cars companies or something like this. Yeah. And in this situation, or in doing so, that call and that cold calling could be to the point and practical.
Good. And even actually they were not aware of this important point as you just made, that they just call random people, which is stupid. So they cannot get anywhere by adopting this policy compared to informed calling. At least they should gather some information, statistical information, in order to pinpoint their customers in the best way and to raise the probability of selling, successful selling. And yeah, so do we have any is there any difference between a scammer and a cold caller?
Yes.
So who is a scammer?
Scammer is a deceiver
Mm-hmm.
who is trying to deceive you.
You mean cold caller is not?
On the paper, not. But
Okay, yeah. I was just magnifying that. Yeah, a scammer is a charlatan. It means that he or she deceives others to get money. And we
It's
say
like a fraud.
foul person. Yeah. And also we say deluding others, deceiving others. And technically it drives me nuts and crazy. And some of them, it's so actually terrible when you just face those people who do not have at least the courtesy to sell products or services. The necessary courtesy for what's the meaning of courtesy? Do you know? They don't update their information about that. Do you have my voice?
yeah.
You're so
Yes.
silent.
I was just
And
finding the book.
yeah, as a matter of fact, in my idea, they should not get away with that so easily. That is the role of the establishment. If they happen to be really bothersome, and if they just drive you nuts, crazy, and contact you incessantly again and again to sell something that you do not need at all, in my idea, they should be sued and litigation or prosecution, suing, and not to the maximum level of punishment or retribution, but to some extent they should not get away with that so easily. That's why so many people actually just turn their attention to that. And yeah. So
What was the word that you said for suing? I mean,
prosecution, litigation.
something else is litigation. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, litigate means actually suing a person, prosecuting. Yeah.
Okay.
And the next question: how can you maximize the risk of being trapped by cold callers? Whose turn is it? I don't know.
By reply soon them and don't think about their suggestion.
No, in this case, you are
Or-
already trapped. Who knows the answer? An answer to this question.
I didn't get the meaning of this question. What do you mean by trapped by cold caller? How can I be trapped by those people?
Actually, you are the target of their calls. You will be the target of their calls. They will call you for the first time. They will just get your phone number, your email address.
I think at first they try to catch the numbers from many, or maybe advertising websites or something. For example, when you go to different websites, they try to ask your number, your phone number, or any
Good
subscription.
point. Yeah, good point. Yeah. Okay, we call them information brokers, data brokers.
Yes, I wanted to say something about data brokers, and I used to work for a company that another marketing companies, such some calling companies, wanted our company to buy some information of customers for cold calling.
Very good. Did you know that Mark Zuckerberg, the founder and CEO and CTO also of Facebook, was guilty of actually data broking, and actually he just sold some data, so much data, to some advertising companies and commercial companies at a very high cost, and he was recently found guilty in a law court, and there was a trial session. Actually, I was just watching that on YouTube. Anyway,
Yes,
so
I know that because I have known that the main source of income, the Facebook is buying data, not selling data to other cold calling companies.
Exactly. And the last question: is teleworking the same as telemarketing?
I'm not sure about the answer of this question, but I guess that telemarketing is about running a business. I mean, making business, and specifically selling and maybe purchasing different products. But teleworking could be something else, maybe. I mean, it is not necessarily about business or selling and purchasing products, as you said, exchanging goods.
Very good. Yeah, they're not interchangeable. As a matter of fact, telemarketing is one part of teleworking, and teleworking is inclusive of telemarketing. So not any business based on teleworking is a kind of telemarketing business. Okay, thank you very much for this beautiful conversation. We learned so much.